The movie hasn't come out yet, so I think you shouldn't bully an actress for some stupid rumors. By the way, I just don't get why you're so tolerant of actors while being so mean to actresses. You shouldn't destroy an actress with the sex scandal. Shame on you. Besides, Rosalind did nothing wrong. She didn't hurt any of you. Yeah, I did nothing wrong. I just loved the wrong person. 11 During the past few days, I had accepted tons of hate comments. My company was planning to hire some trolls to clear those comments, and Diane wanted to issue a statement to warn the haters. However, I rejected their help. I decided to make a big deal out of it, and even bigger until I lost all of my fans. On the 4th day of the fight online, Diane lost her patience. What are you doing, Rosalind? If you keep ignoring it, you'll have no job offers in the future. The comments below the channel that promotes your new film were all hate comments. Well, I couldn't believe that they had been focusing on this bullshit for 3 days. No wonder the entertainment industry was said to be coming to an end. In the next few days, I apologized to my fans on social media for my hidden marriage first. Then I contradicted the rumors of me having an affair with another girl's boyfriend, hooking up with different men, harassing Daniel, and being someone's mistress. As soon as we posted the statement, the haters came to me again. They showed the so-called evidence and called me a liar. As a result, they cyberbullied me again. They should stop offering you chances. They didn't respect the audience at all. Just quit your job, Rosalind. The sky outside the window was suddenly overcast and cloudy. It was as dim as night outside. However, this cyber violence was more frightening than the weather at the moment. Whatever, they could curse me with worse words if that made them happy, but it was impossible for me to quit my job. After finishing my makeup, I went to see Mr. Simpson. The servant led me in. As soon as I entered the room, I saw Adrian drinking coffee leisurely there. I was quite aggressive when I came in, but after I saw him, I became timid instantly. His eyes were like a sharp knife that sent chills down my back. I couldn't help but keep staring at him. Mr. Simpson coughed intentionally and asked Adrian curiously, "Wait, do you know her? The leading actress of my next work?" Adrian put down the cup and said slowly, "She's my girlfriend." Both Mr. Simpson and I were shocked. Adrian probably called me his girlfriend for my pride. But anyway, this title did sound better than mistress. My heart pounded and I glanced at him secretly. His beautiful eyes were half closed. Mr. Simpson stared at me and then at Adrian. He finally got it after staring at us for a while. "I've never seen you being together with any woman. Adrian, can't believe that you got yourself a girlfriend." After that, Mr. Simpson looked at me kindly and said, "It's not bad to have Rosalind as your girlfriend, though. She's a very smart, attractive girl." Adrian nodded and said, "I agree." What did he mean by that? I was no fool and I could tell he was being sarcastic. Never mind. I told Mr. Simpson what I was here for. "I'm wondering if you can give me my audition video." Mr. Simpson tutted. "What happened exactly? Why are you both looking for the video?" Adrian knocked twice on the back of the chair. Then he looked into my shocked eyes and said, "We can go now. I've already got it." What? Are we talking about the same thing? The reason why I ignored those haters was that I was waiting for a chance to turn the table. The haters were all attacking me for one thing. I got the role with the help of my connections and I got someone powerful behind me. But the truth was I did a great job in the audition and that was why I got this leading role. My plan was to make the internet hate me more and continue to stigmatize me. And when their hatred for me was at its peak, I would simply post evidence to refute those rumors. Only then could I make the haters shut their mouths and gain the sympathy of my fans at the same time. 12 The Broken Body was a story between a peacekeeper and a field medic. The scene I auditioned for was about this soldier who died on a mission at the border of his country, and I brought his body home. After the audition, everyone on the set cried except me. After the director said cut, I fell to the ground with no strength, crying my heart out. Mr. Simpson squatted down and asked me, "Why didn't you cry when you were acting?" I looked at him determinedly. He's a hero to the country and a hero to the whole nation. I was proud of him when I saw everyone greeting his body with great respect. So I couldn't shed tears then, even though I really wanted to. But in real life, I was just a woman who lost her husband. How could I suppress the negative emotions brought by my weakness and pain? Mr. Simpson looked at me with satisfaction and made a decision immediately. "You're Rosalind, right?" Congratulations on getting the role. After I got the audition video, I calmly posted it on social media platforms. The haters were completely dumbfounded, and as I expected, the onlookers began to speak for me. Gosh, Rosalind is a dark horse. I'm so moved by this scene and she really deserves the role. Why do people spread rumors saying that she got the role with her connections help? Rosalind got the role on her outstanding performance, but the haters abused her for 3 days. I feel sorry for her. This cyber violence is an unexpected disaster for Rosalind. Why is there no place for a good actress like her in the entertainment industry? Of course, there were still some haters who wouldn't give up. They continued to discredit me. Rosalind does have a hidden marriage and she lied to her fans. She doesn't care about her fans at all. The fans who had always been loyal to me were now completely enraged by the haters. Since Rosalind has already apologized for her hidden marriage, why are you still talking about it? By the way, I checked your homepage and you haven't made a single post about Rosalind before, so stop pretending you're a fan. We were simply disappointed with Rosalind's negative attitude. Now that she has made a big comeback with such an excellent job, we will not tolerate anyone bullying her. Now, I finally understand why people say the showbiz is a battlefield. It's so terrible. Every time Rosalind is mentioned in the trending topics, dozens of tea accounts start rumors. Their comment sections are filled with haters trying to destroy her. Rosalind has suffered too much. Just look at the comments below the clarification she posted this morning. They were full of nasty words. If it weren't for haters cursing too much, she wouldn't have released this audition video. Therefore, social media is now full of hashtags, "I feel sorry for Rosalind," "Poor beauty," and "Women should focus on their careers." Finally, the trending topics about me were no longer negative. Soon, public opinion became the exact opposite of what it used to be, and all the ridiculous rumors were cleared up. I held my phone happily and showed it to Adrian. "Look, I told you I could handle it." Adrian laughed and said, "Yeah, but you're not doing enough. They are now all speaking for me. What else did I miss?" After saying that, I realized something. I acted like a spoiled child. Adrian held me in his arms and stared straight at my lips, saying, "You didn't tell me." I lowered my head and took a secret glance at him. "I don't want to bother you." Adrian narrowed his eyes and lifted my chin with his slender fingers. "Are you an idiot? Why can't you just ask me for help?" I blinked my eyes in confusion, not knowing what to do. He held my hand gently and said, "You can bother me whenever you can. I'm always here for you, and that's my destiny." The moonlight shone through the window on Adrian's face. He just looked at me intently and kept smiling. Adrian was like the moon hanging high in the sky. I used to think that this moon I saw never shone for me, but at this moment, it did. I looked up at Adrian and sighed countless times in my heart. Why didn't I meet Adrian before I meet Ethan? 14 After the cyber violence, I joined the crew of The Broken Body. I didn't expect to see Ethan on the first day of the shooting. I thought he was the person I hated the most. But when I saw him again, I found that he had become a stranger in my eyes. All my emotions had nothing to do with him at this moment. He walked towards me coldly, and I looked up at him calmly. Just as we passed each other, Ethan stopped. He turned his head to look at me. "I heard that you're with my uncle, Rosalind. Is that true?" I didn't answer him. He kept asking, "Why do you have to mess with my uncle?" Ethan slammed his fists on the wall, trapping me in his arms. I felt both nervous and afraid. "Say something." I feared that he was going to lose his temper, so I said directly, "Because I like him." Ethan clenched his fists so tightly that they cracked. "Say it again, Rosalind." His voice was soft yet helpless. I frowned and took a step back. Then I repeated, "I have a crush on your uncle. I like Adrian." I was afraid of Ethan recording my words. I didn't always think the worst of people, but Ethan was different. He was no good person. He was just fond of treating me in the worst way, leaving me with no choice. So I wouldn't let him get his way this time. Hearing my answer, Ethan immediately put on a straight face, and I tried to run away as soon as I noticed that. He grabbed my arm and looked at my lips. The next second, he leaned over and bit my lips. With a buzz in my head, I pushed him away subconsciously. "Ethan, I'm your uncle's girlfriend now. Stay away from me." Perhaps because the disgust in my eyes irritated him, Ethan stopped. He suddenly put his hands over his chest and coughed loudly as if he was going to cough out his heart. After a few seconds of silence, Ethan said in a trembling voice, "I'm going abroad with Jennifer." Rosie. I was surprised yet very glad. No one would hurt me the way he did again. Ethan reached out and stroked my hair as usual. When he raised his arm, I smelled a familiar fragrance of gardenia on him. I was absent-minded for a while. I must be having an illusion. When I came back to my senses, I saw him walking slowly forward, and I stood still and watched him disappear from my sight. I felt nothing but peace in mind. 15 after finishing the last scene today, I went back to the hotel and found Adrian there. Adrian was extremely self-restrained. He wouldn't allow himself to cross the line. Therefore, he only came to me once a month, so I was surprised to see him at the hotel today. As soon as I entered the room, he leaned toward me. Did Ethan come to see you today? Adrian put his finger on my lips. Did he kiss you? He continued to move his finger down and held my waist with his hand. Did he touch your waist? He unbuttoned my shirt and I felt warm breath on my skin. Meanwhile, he kept moving his fingers on me and said in a low voice, "Or did he touch all these parts?" I bit my lip and explained in a panic, "No, he didn't." Liar! Apparently, Adrian was jealous. He didn't let me go until I was covered in his scent. It turned out that Adrian, who had always been so gentle, would lose control. Thinking of this, I burst into laughter. Adrian grabbed my finger and kissed me again. I begged. He just touched my lips and I immediately pushed him away. Adrian's smile gradually froze. He put one hand behind his neck and lowered his voice. I've never played such a ridiculous game with anyone. Rosie. He sounded very sad. You're the first one, he continued, and you'll be the last one. Suddenly, he leaned over, and his face was so close to mine. Just as we looked each other in the eye, Adrian called me by my full name. Can I be your last one too? Rosalind Clark? He put his hand behind my neck and begged, "Stay with me forever. Will you?" I felt warmth rush from my back all the way to my head. I covered my mouth with my hands, crying silently. I wanted to answer him right away, but I cried so hard that I couldn't utter a word. Fortunately, Adrian got it. I looked at myself in his eyes and finally understood something. I didn't need to look for the love of my life because he'd find me himself. This night was the second night that I could not forget for a long time. The first was the night long ago when he agreed to play a game with me. He said, "It's no big deal. You have the right to please yourself and there's nothing wrong with that." He saved me from a terrible past at that time. And tonight, he lit up my future like a moon. He asked, "Will you stay with me forever, Rosalind?" Yes, I would. That was my answer to Adrian.